Okay, this should be the last part, I hope. So let's get started. So the first question is talking about switches and electricity. So please take note that all current or all voltage comes from your battery. And then you can see that this one, the short one is negative, the long one is positive terminal, and the current will always flow from negative to positive. So here the switch is open. If you want the current to flow, you need to close it. And if you close that one, the lamp one will go in. And it will just continue again. If you want lamp 2 to lights up, you need to close switch 3 and switch 2, because if you don't on switch 2 it will stay here. Then if you switch that one on, it will go there. In order to light up lamp 3, you just need to turn on switch 1, then the current will flow to lamp 3, and then you need to switch on switch 2 so that the current can flow completely. Okay, next one is asking measurement of current. So we have learned about the different formula, but we can actually apply just a simple logic. So current always come from the battery or dry cell, as I said, and then here the current will flow. This one I will show you the normal current flow as well at first, if there's only one wire. So if the current flow like this, it means that the total current is at A. So the total current is at A in one way. But if the current break down into two, it means that the current will be divided. If the lamp are similar, or if the bulb is similar, then at A will be divided equally to 4A and 4A. But in this case, you can see there one of the bulb only have 3.5 current, so I2, the second bulb, we will have, let's just write down IT, or just write down terus at A equal to 3.5A plus I2. So the total current is I2. Therefore, I2 should be at point or at A minus 3.5A. Use calculator and you should get the answer to be 4.5A. Okay, like I mentioned, if it doesn't show the number here, should be divided equally. Next one. So this one is another question which doesn't have any detail of value. It only show you A1, A2, A3, A4, and two resistor. So based on this diagram alone, let's just start again. Current flow from the dry cell. So the current here should be the full one, and the current at A2 should also be the same, A1 should also be the same. So the value of A1 and A4 and A2 should be the same if that's all. So this is what we call a series. If you look here, it's separate again like the previous question. So the current here, as it flows from the dry cell, will separate into two, A2 and A3. Then after it's separate, it will combine back again into full to A1. So A1, these two, and A4 should be the same because it shows the current before it divide and after it become parallel. So if we look at the value, A1 and A4 should be the same, so it doesn't show. And then if the resistor is the same for A2 and A3, A2 and A3 should also be the same. And if you look at the number, here you can see that the total current A4 is 4, and then it equally divide into 2 and 2. So 4, 2, 2. A2 and A3 is 2. And once it goes back to A1, it become 4 again. Okay, so you have to have understanding of this one to answer it properly. So like I said, if it doesn't mention the value, it should be similar to A. 4A when it's full, 2A when it divide into separate parallel circuit. Then when it goes back to normal, it will become 4A again. Next one is about voltmeter. Now voltmeter is one of the special component because voltmeter should be parallel. And when you put the voltmeter parallel to the battery like this, it means it's showing the total voltage. Okay? Anytime you put a component close to the like this, it is the total. Everything must come from the power source or the battery in this case. And the question is asking if V1 is 9.0, if the total is 9.0, what will be the value of V2, V3, V4? Again, in here you can see that these two are similar. It doesn't show different value, so V2 and V4 should have the same value. Let's look for V2 and V4. 2, 4, 2.5, 3.5, 3.5, 3.5. Okay, but 9.0, 9.0. Okay, this one, the bulb is different, so the value should be different. It shouldn't be 9.0. So in this case, the answer is C. So when you understand how it works, then you can answer it easily. Next one is asking you, yeah, the circuit, s- the fuse has blown and stopped the current. So this is a fuse. A complete fuse will have a complete wire inside it. Okay, so the function of this one is to protect these appliances. In this case, is the bulb. And when there's too much current flowing, what happens is that the wire inside it will melt. And when it melts, the current cannot flow anymore. So this happened when the current was too large. Another issue is that when the fuse rating is too small, not too high. So, what happens if the fuse rating is too high? If the fuse rating is too high, it will not stop the current and it will cause the large current to just flow and it will lead to damage of the appliance. Okay, because the currents keep on flowing, the current will, instead of the fuse being damaged, it will just damage the bulb. Okay, next one. So this one is a resistor. You can see now there's a value. So the function of a resistor is to reduce current. And the more resistor you add, the less current will flow. So here the current is flowing, and from negative, the current is flowing. And as the current pass through here, it become less, become less, become less, and become less. And the question is asking what is the total? Total mean you just have to add them up. When it's series, it's easy. So it's just common sense. There are four resistor, so you have to go through the four resistor. The total resistor should be 2.5 plus 2.5 plus 2.5 plus 2.5. In this case, it's 10. 2.5 plus 2.5 plus 2.5 plus 2.5. Question become difficult when it is like this because the formula is 1 over r e equal to 1 over r1 plus 1 over r2. Don't stress yourself if this question comes out. If you know how to use the formula, carry on. If you do not know, just leave it. Don't stress yourself out. So in this case, this is 1 over 2 plus 1 over 2. So that one is easy. Half plus half is equal to 1. Therefore, in this case, the answer is just 1. Okay, 1.0. But if the number is more challenging than this one, it will be difficult. Next one is talking about the 3-pin plug. So you have a fuse there, and then you have three different wire here. The wire on top is the earth wire, and the earth wire is to protect you from electric shock. Then you have the fuse. Any wire that is close to the fuse is called the live wire. So live wire is where the current flow, current, uh, the carry current from our supply. Okay, so that's the function of live wire. And then the current will go through the fuse first. If everything is okay, we'll just go to the appliances. And the last one is neutral wire. Neutral wire carry current back to power supply. So it's the same like the flow of blood inside your heart. There's artery and vein. In this case, the artery is live wire, the vein is neutral wire. It needs to complete a circuit. An example is this one. When it goes from here, it is the live wire. When it goes back, it is the earth wire, and not the earth wire, the neutral wire. For the color, please double check into your textbook. The earth wire should be green and yellow. The live wire should be brown or red. I'm not fully sure anymore. Neutral should be blue. Okay. So sometime you plug in like this. What is the danger? This one will cause explosion. Okay. That one will have too much current flow and this thing will explode. What about electric short, sir? Electric short is when you touch it directly with wet hand or when there's no earth wire. What about electric fire, sir? Electric fire you will get when the fuse doesn't stop the current flow. And then the current keep on flowing and then the wire become overheated, wire overheated and then it will catch fire. Okay. Next one is asking in which circuit would the bulb light up the brightest. So when we talk about the brightest one, we're talking about the one with the most battery in series. So it should be this one, series most power. If you want to make it last long, you have to arrange the battery in parallel, last the longest. Why, sir? It's just how it is. Okay, so series parallel. Next one is about acid alkali. Okay. Which of the following tests confirm that the substance is acid? Acid will turn blue litmus paper red. Simple. Let's just continue. And then 14 add some hydrochloric acid to sodium hydroxide. So it become neutral. Neutral should be 7. Then added some more acid. So it means that it become acidic. Acid mean the pH is less than 7. Just remember AC. So AC is the beginning. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, yep. Next one, X and Y are mixed. A solution with pH value of 7 is formed. So, in this type of question, students will thought that it's just a simple maths where you just look for the number 5 plus 2, which is not true. You have to label everything. For example, the first one is acid. The second one is also acid. When you make acid with acid, it become acid. You need to find one which is acid, which is this one, which is below 7, and one is alkali, which is above 7. So when you make acid with alkali, you will get pH value of 7. Okay, next one is asking about mysterious substance. Mysterious substance that is bitter, change red litmus paper to blue, and slippery or soapy when touched. That one is always alkali. Alkali in general is the soap or the medicine that you take. So it is a soap. Common salt is neutral. Lemon juice, as you know, is acidic. Vinegar is also acidic. Next one, what causes indigestion? Indigestion occur in the stomach. Stomach have acid, and then indigestion is when there's too much acid. So what you need to do is you need to take alkali in the form of antacid, which neutralize the acid in the stomach. Next one, uric acid. A boy is stung by a wasp. Uric acid is used to treat the affected area, which means that if you want to treat the with acid, it must mean that the wasp is alkali. Kenapa pulang, sir? Because when you neutralize it, you remove the pain. Next one. So this one is the normal formula of neutralization. Sodium hydroxide is alkali, acid is acid. I mean, hydrochloric acid is acid. Then neutralization always produce water. So water is H2O. So you remove the hydrogen, then you remove the oxygen and hydrogen. When you remove all those things, you're left with sodium chloric. Chloric is chloride. So you get the salt and sodium chloride. That's how you write down word equation, which you're going to do more in chemistry or combined science in the future. Okay, so it's B. Why do most flower have flowers? Okay, next one is reproduction plant. When it has scented petals and produce nectar, This one is always to attract insect for pollination. This is the main purpose for survival of the plant. If they fail to attract the insect, they cannot survive unless they are wind pollinated flower. Next one, what is the process when pollen grain, so pollen grain, transferred from anther to stigma? So pollen already, so it's pollination. Which of the following is solved this first? Anything that look dry or have in pod, so it is C. A and B, you can see they have wings, so this is wind. D is fleshy. Anything is fleshy is animal. Next one was the function of sepal. Sepal is the green part of the flower before it open up, or when we call it in budding stage. And this sepal is to protect the flower during budding stage. Once the flower is open, it just stay at the bottom. It doesn't do anything except support the flower. Next one is germination. You should know that germination require three things. It require air, it requires suitable temperature, and it require water. And you can see out of these three, oil is preventing air, so B is out. This one is dry, no water. This is boil. Boil means the seed is dead. So the best in this case is A. It has air that goes in. It has suitable temperature. Boil seed means that the temperature is very high, and then wet sawdust means there's water. And then this one is the different part of the flower. W is stigma. So stigma is the female part of the flower. And then you have this one, the anther, the male part of the flower. Stigma, yeah, okay. So then the Y, maybe it's a petal. It's weird. It's at the back. And Z is should be ovary or the ovule. Ovary and ovules are found inside ovary. So yeah. So which part contain the male and female sex cells? So male sex cells are always found in the anther, just like the testis. And then female are always found in the ovary, just like ovary of the female as well. So like this one, they compare which one stores the male sex cell. So for male sex cell, it is stored in the testis, which is this one. And then for the flower part, it is this one, which is the anther. So you can see this part here is the top here, similar. Okay. And then, yep, let's go to the next one. This one you should know the cell in the male reproductive organ. This one is the sperm. And these sperm are produced by the testis. Without testis, you cannot produce sperm. And the next one shows you a sperm duct being cut and tied. So sperm duct is connected to your testis, so testis produce sperm, and then this sperm can no longer go out. Therefore, this person can no longer reproduce. Therefore, the result of this process is that the sperm cannot travel from the testis to the penis, which means that this person is no longer fertile. Next one is the menstrual cycle. You should know the menstrual cycle lasts for 28 days. And then on the first day, the process is called menstruation. Menstruation is the breakdown of the uterus lining. Menstruation. So menstruation is the breakdown of uterus lining. Why does the uterus lining break down? It's because that the there is no implantation or egg is not fertilized. So this is a sign that you are not pregnant. Okay, and then after it breakdowns, it needs to repair itself. So day 6 to day 13, it is repair of uterus lining. What does repair of uterus lining means? It means that it will get thicker. Why does it get thicker? To prepare for baby again, to prepare in case you get pregnant, which is what happened uh, during day 14, which is where ovulation occurs. What is ovulation? Which is the release of mature egg from ovary. When egg is released from the ovary, it means that the person is ready to become pregnant. How comes that? Anytime sperm is deposited during this time, from day 14 to day 28, the chance of fertilization is there. If there's no fertilization, the egg will die, uterus lining will thicken until it's broken down on day 28 again. Okay, the same process repeated every month. and the day could be different from one person to another depending on uh, if they're stressed or if they take medication, so it could be different. Next one, okay tadi ya sudah ha. Next one is the question asking you, yeah, a woman have ovulation on 2nd of October. Ovulation is day 14, so always write it down there. When will her next menstrual cycle? So next menstrual cycle must be within 28 days. So 14 days have already passed through. So it will be 14 plus 2, which is 16. 16 is the 28th day, which means the next menstrual cycle will begin on 27 on the 17th. It must complete 28 day. Okay, apakah sudah paham? So again, on 2nd October is ovulation. So 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 16 uses now 28 is the last day, which is 16. Therefore, the next cycle is on the 17th, day 1 of day 28 again. Okay, next one. What would happen if to the thickness of lining of the uterus after 28 days if not fertilized? Like I mentioned, the whole cycle will repeat again and the uterus lining will break down. This process called menstruation. And here it should be this one, uterus lining breakdown and menstruation will occur, not ovulation. Ovulation is much later. So this is the process of fertilization that happen in the oviduct. So you can see here this is ovary where the egg is released. That one is called ovulation. So egg is released, and then you can see there, and a sperm goes to the egg. So fertilization occur. Fertilization is the fusion of male and female sex cell, and then you can see that it will become a zygote. Next one, what happened to the zygote? The zygote will move until it become W, which is embryo, which will go to uterus lining for implantation. What you say implantation? It means that the embryo is already embedded into the uterus, and that person is considered at early stage of pregnancy. Okay, next one, STD. The STD that you have learned is AIDS, syphilis, gonorrhea, and one more is chlamydia. And it's asking you how to prevent it. Basically, do not do any all of this, not having any sexual relationship outside marriage, do not share injection needle and earpiece equipment, do not use or do not reuse shaving blade and barbers, and do not get involved in drug addiction. Which one cannot be cured using antibiotics out of the STI, not disease, not STD? Only AIDS cannot be cured, not cured, like cannot be aided using antibiotics because it is caused by virus. Virus will be killed by your antibody, but unfortunately, the virus in this case is HIV, which destroy your immune system. So instead of your immune system killing this virus killed your immune system instead. That's why HIV is incurable. And then which one is this is indicated by source. So every time you see the word S, it is syphilis. Just memorize it like that. Source, syphilis, S. Then the doctor has diagnosed the person with this one. Sore is syphilis, S is syphilis. So just check number one is syphilis. So it's either C or D. Then second one, color AIDS is always the worst one, and then cancer of blood is the worst one. Therefore, number three is AIDS. Chlamydia and gonorrhea will lead to burning sensation when urinating and produce discharge. In this case, it produces yellow pus. So this yellow pus is what you get from gonorrhea. So therefore, the answer is syphilis for source, gonorrhea for the discharge, AIDS for the blood cancer. So any disease that lead to terminal, uh, it is AIDS. Basically, if you have AIDS, the chance of being dead is very high. Okay, that's it. Whatever I miss out, make sure you cover as well. This one is just uh, to review back everything that you have learned, and make sure you revise the section B as well. Okay, I wish you all the best. Good luck. Assalamu alaikum.